I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's press on to page 11 of the Grade 2 Discovering Music Theory workbook, and we move on to exercise 6 where we're asked to add the missing bar lines to a group of melodies, each of which is in a different time signature. And so we've got lots of new time signatures to work out here, and we've got to be careful that we get the correct number of beats and the correct unit beat as well. So don't forget that when a time signature is over 2, we're thinking in half notes or minim beats, as we've discussed in a previous lesson, or if we're counting in quaver beats when the bottom number is 8, because we've divided into 8 or eighth notes, so the bottom number represents quavers when it's 8. So we've got to make sure we get the correct number of beats and the correct unit of beat as well. And don't forget this split common time, or à la brève, means 2-2, similar to the common time which is 4-4, which mathematically works out the same, but it's counted differently, because we're counting 4 crotchet beats here, where we're counting 2 minim beats here. So musically there is a difference, even though mathematically it adds up to the same amount. So let's just work out what's going on here, and then we'll have our pencil and ruler handy. So we should have 4 minim beats per bar. So let's just work out where each minim beat falls. And so we have crotchet plus crotchet is a minim. There's one. There's one. Quaver, quaver equals a crotchet, which with another crotchet. There's our next minim beat. There's a minim beat. I suppose we could just carry on before we do the bar lines, or we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the bar line. And then we have 1 minim beat. There's another minim beat. Now there's a minim beat, and then the dot is half as much again, which is a crotchet's worth, which with this crotchet is also a minim beat. So there's 1, 2, 3, and the dot and the crotchet gives us beat 4. So bar line again. And then we know that a semi-breve divides into 2 minims worth. So there's 1 minim beat, 2 minim beats. There is another minim. There's another minim. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's correct. So we know that we're correct here. If this last bar didn't work out, because it's got a bar line, we'd know that we've gone wrong and something's amiss earlier on. So if you get a little bit lost, you can always work from the end if there's a full bar at the end. Here, for example, though, you can't, because this bar isn't complete, so you'd have to work it backwards from here. So perhaps now try this on your own. Just press pause and then pop back into the video and we can check them through together. I'm hoping that you've had a go of these, so let's check these through together. Now again, we're counting in minim beats, but we need to have 3 minim beats per bar. So we have a crotchet here, and then half as much again is a quaver's worth, and a quaver plus a quaver gives us a crotchet. So altogether there is 1 minim beat. Here we have a minim beat. Here we have a minim beat. So 1, 2, 3. There's our bar line. And we've already done the thinking for this bit here, because we know crotchet is there, and then that's a quaver's worth, which with this quaver gives us a crotchet, which altogether gives us a minim. So there's minim, minim, and that's a minim beats rest. So there's another minim. 1, 2, 3, bar line. Now two quavers gives us a crotchet. 2 quavers gives us a crotchet, which altogether gives us a minim beat. So there's one minim beat, and we know there's another. We've done the thinking for that. There's another. There's our bar line, and so that we know we are correct. Nothing's gone wrong there. We've got our maths right. Let's have a go at this next one. So now we only need 2 minim beats per bar. So there's a crotchet's worth, and then 2 quavers gives us a crotchet, and then crotchet plus crotchet gives us a minim. So there's 1 minim beat. Crotchet plus crotchet gives us a minim. And so there's 1, 2 beats. There's our bar line. So 2 quavers is a crotchet plus another crotchet gives us a minim. So there's 1 beat. Crotchet plus 2 quavers, which is a crotchet, altogether gives us a minim. So beat 1, beat 2, bar line. Quaver plus quaver is crotchet. Quaver plus quaver, that was a mouthful, is crotchet, and altogether that gives us a minim. And so we know this next one is a minim. Because think about it, if we're counting, let's just take a moment actually, let's just squeeze a little bit of revision out of this. We know that a minim divides into 2 crotchet, which divides into 4 quavers, and so actually now when we're counting in units of a minim, a quaver is actually a quarter of a beat, isn't it? Crotchets are half a beat and quavers are a quarter of a beat, so 4 quarters equals a whole beat when our unit is minims. So we've just changed the way we count it. The divisions are always the same, but we've just changed the unit value and how we count it. Anyway, so there's 1 minim beat, there's another minim beat, so that's 2 minim beats, there's our bar line. And so there's another minim beat, and then crotchet plus crotchet rest is a minim. There's our bar line. We know that we're correct. It's all finished up correct. So we know that we've got our maths right. Let's move on. Now this time we're counting in units of a quaver. So we're counting 3 quaver beats per bar. So 1, 2, 3, and that's your bar done. There's 1 quaver, 2 semi-quavers make a quaver, there's another quaver, done. 1, 2, 3, done. There's 1 beat, and then we know that a crotchet divides into 2 quavers, so that's done, so that we know that's correct. Now we have this time signature, this split common time or à la brève, which means 2/2. So we're looking for 2 minim beats. We're counting each unit as a minim. So there's 1 beat, there's 1 minim beat. That's our bar complete. So here, there's a minim, of course, and then half of that is worth a crotchet, which with this next crotchet here gives us beat 2, and so that's the bar complete. There's a minim, 2 crotchets make a minim. There's a crotchet, quaver plus quaver gives us a crotchet, which with this crotchet beat gives us a minim. And then there's 1, so there's 1, 2, so that's our bar line. And then 1 and crotchet with crotchet rest is the next. So there's 1, 2, and we know that we're correct there. All is well. And then let's look at these final 2. We've got 3 quaver beats per bar, 3 beats per bar, each beat now being a quaver. This is a quaver beat rest, and then there's our beats 2 and 3, so there's our bar line. 1, 2, 3, nice and simple. 1, there's beat 1, and then here semi-quaver plus semi-quaver equals quaver. semiquaver, semiquaver equals quaver. 1, 2, 3. We can see there's our bar line. 1, 2, 3, bar line, nice and simple. Now that's a semiquaver rest, which with this semiquaver note gives us a quaver. 2 semiquavers gives us a quaver. 2 semiquavers gives us a quaver. And so everything works out correct. We know we've got that right. And then finally, 3 beats in a bar again, but now each beat is worth a minim. So there's 1 minim beat. There's a crotchet. 2 quavers equals a crotchet. Crotchet plus crotchet equals a minim. Crotchet plus crotchet equals a minim. 1, 2, 3. Bar line. There's 1 crotchet beat. 2 quavers equals a crotchet. Crotchet plus crotchet equals a minim. There's 1 minim beat. And then we know we've done the math already. There's another crotchet beat. 2 crotchets equals a minim. Crotchet beat there with a crotchet. There's our minim beat. We've done the math there. 1, 2, 3. Bar line. There's a minim beat. Crotchet and 2 quavers gives us a minim. There's a crotchet and crotchet, which gives us another minim. 1, 2, 3. And that's correct, and that's that exercise completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.